Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg announced a new privacy-focused vision yesterday for the tech giant. In a note posted to Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg said that he believes that a, quote, privacy-focused communications platform will become even more important than today's open platforms. He went on to list 6 principles, including end-to-end encryption on private messaging, that he says the company will use to reach this goal of this privacy-focused vision. However, the note also raised new questions. CBS News contributor and Wired editor-in-chief Nick Thompson interviewed Mark Zuckerberg after he released that note, and they discussed the specifics of how Facebook intends to implement these changes. And Nick Thompson joins us now to discuss this. Nick, boy, your interview was so fascinating. During your conversation with Zuckerberg, did you get a sense of whether this sincere approach to protecting people's privacy is really more about making money?
Well, I actually think it's not about making money. I think the cynical approach would be to say the reason he's pivoting to privacy is to ward off regulators and to, reestablish Facebook's positive public opinion, because there's been so much criticism over the last year. But it's hard to say that it's about making money, because actually, with this new direction they're heading in, it's going to be a lot harder to make money. The way Facebook makes money is it collects infinite data, and then it uses that data to target personalized ads at you. Once you have a privacy-focused platform, or once you build out elements of the platform that have privacy more built into it, once you make messages disappear, once you encrypt things end-to-end, it's much harder to extract the data you need for your advertising engine. So there are lots of critiques, but actually I would turn the critique around and say, wait, you announced this whole new thing without saying how you're going to make money off of it? So
how do you think, Nick, he's going to make money with this new system? How's the business model going to work?
Yeah, so 2 things will happen. Number 1, the current business model will continue. This is a little bit ambiguous in his note, and people misinterpreted it, and so I asked him about it directly in the interview. But Newsfeed, the core of what we think of as Facebook now, that endless flowing stream of posts in which there are embedded advertisements that are targeted to you, that will not disappear, so they will still make money off that. But then the question is, on all the new stuff they build, how will they make money? And his answer, when I asked him that last night, was, hey, we don't know. We'll build the product. If it's good, we'll figure out a way to make money. Remember, Facebook didn't have a business model its first couple of years. My guess is they'll make money from commerce, from building some kind of a payments engine on top of their messaging platform, that they will figure out some new nascent business model. But actually, without infinite data collection, all of that is hard too.
So when you look at this, what do you think the new challenges will be with this new setup?
Well, one of the challenges is going to be actually implementing it, right? I mean, when the CEO comes out and says, hey, you know what? It's Wednesday afternoon, and we're going to do things from now on completely differently from the way we've done it in the last 15 years, right? That is going to require a whole lot of people to think differently, to work differently. Different people will have to join new teams. So there is a huge management problem. Then there's the trust problem, right? People don't trust Facebook, and so they're going to be really checking the statement. And every time Facebook does something, they'll be like, hey, you said that you were going to really focus on privacy, but look at that thing you just screwed up. So there's going to be a huge public perception problem, too.
You mentioned the public perceptions, Nick. Do you think this is going to be enough, though, to appease regulators who have been for some time calling for a change in Facebook's policies?
No. I think that there's one specific issue where it will actually make a big difference. So the biggest threat to Facebook is antitrust regulation, right? There are all these other things. There's privacy regulation. There are all these fines. There are restrictions here, restrictions there. And they can pay off the fines. They can deal with the privacy legislation. Antitrust regulation is the real threat to this company. And what some of the smartest people on antitrust have been saying is, look, you got to break Facebook apart. You got to split off WhatsApp. You got to split off Instagram. So what Zuckerberg is cleverly doing here is he's integrating WhatsApp and Instagram more tightly into Facebook, which may make it harder for that antitrust argument to work, because you can't come to Facebook if you've integrated all those products and say split them off, it won't harm the company, which is what the antitrust advocates are arguing now.
So, what I just find so fascinating, Nick, there was a new study that showed that 15 million fewer users showed up to Facebook platforms since 2017. But you see, Instagram, it's got this growth explosion. They're doing really well. Do we know, did you ask Zuckerberg about that? What does Facebook think about that?
Well, I think what Facebook thinks is okay, so we have this main thing, the Blue app, right, central Facebook, and for a long time it has helped support Instagram, right? The engineers who helped build Facebook helped build Instagram. The new filters that were put on Facebook are put onto Instagram. Instagram, when it was acquired, had very few people, then it had lots of people. And so now Facebook is like, okay, you guys drafted off us for a long time, now we're going to draft off you a little bit. So what's happening here, and what's been happening a lot over the last year, is Instagram and Facebook getting more tightly integrated, in part so that the Blue app, the core Facebook, which as you say has been struggling to grow, can get a little bit of the magic from Instagram, which has been growing like, wildflowers.
So easy to use, Nick, Instagram. It's just so easy.
It's a very different product. It's a much simpler product than basic Facebook, right? Facebook has like 1,000 options. Instagram has 4.
Breaking it all down for us. Nick Thompson, fabulous interview. Thanks for coming on to share it with us. Really appreciate your time, Nick.